I'm on now. Shit, commercial.
Police were forced to open fire on a naked man who refused to stop chewing the face off of another man.
The college student tells police he killed a housemate and then ate part of the victim's heart and brain.
And welcome to the Rebel Dead Zombie Apocalypse show.
Zombies. I'm sorry. No, let me.
So it's been an entire year since we have been on. John has just notified me that he is home, and so we are going to add him into this call. And just give me a minute. Add people to the call.
I hear a screen door opening in the background. You should probably turn around and make sure it's not Jason Voorhees. You are in New Jersey.
It's not a zombie. Wait, I think I got the right John.
Jason wasn't like fully a zombie.
Although,
like, I mean, I've been to New Jersey and I've been to a lot of it. Where the fuck is anywhere that looks like Crystal Lake?
I don't know. We have a crystal pond by us.
I imagine it's not crystal and not much of a pond.
Yes.
Why, hello there.
Well, hello there. Better late than never.
Hey, John.
So...
I blame myself for answering the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, you answered the phone? What was on the other side of the phone?
My friend asking for help because he locked.
Oh, what was his problem? Did his mahi get away?
He locked his keys in the car.
Did he forget to wax his surfboard?
And no,
I learned from Surf Ninjas that's actually an important thing.
I was the first person who he thought that would have a Slim Jim to open up and know how to use one to open up a car.
Is that like really a thing? Or no. Here's John. I think I figured it out. Your last name starts with A. You were the first person that came up in his contacts list.
There you go. So, welcome back again. Welcome, John. Better late than never. To the Rebel Dead Zombie Apocalypse show. It has been an entire year since we've been on, maybe a little bit longer because last year we had the hurricane, and I don't think we were able to do it like we wanted to. So, yeah, I'm checking things because I'm getting beeped here. So we just discovered tonight, though, that John technically can't watch the show until midnight Eastern time.
Yeah.
In Hawaii.
It's showing. I'm on AMC right now, and so.
But you have to
I
find
don't know what episode it is, but then like Carl and the chick with the katana was walking on the train tracks, and
it was bad. I'm not gonna even lie. It was a pretty badass show. I was disappointed in the ending last year. I wasn't happy with just them leaving them in a train car like that. I was very happy with the opening. So we're gonna set John up though for next week. So we used to watch a live stream of it. Because
I asked.
Did you ask Rob?
Yeah, but then he said he doesn't right now. So.
Well, we're gonna find it for you because usually on Tumblr somebody has a live stream of the show. Okay. So we're gonna find it for you so that you can watch it with us. And
so when you guys are gonna start talking about it, just say spoilers and then
No. Actually, to save you though, I was actually going back through our YouTube and I found our very first Rebel Dead show, And we really didn't talk about The Walking Dead. We talked about kind of day one, like all of a sudden, and you have to put your mindset into. So we're going to recap our very first show we ever did, which was in 2012. You have to kind of put your thought process in. You're sitting at home. You're complaining about the heat, John. John might be safe though, or in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah, I mean,
well, we talked about
I
this
do
too
live like
because,
directly across from a cemetery.
but
well, no, but when you think about it, though, like, because assuming, I mean, you got to make the assumption, because we live in a world that is governed by physical rules and laws, right? There's no magic. It would have to be something viral, like, I think, what was it, Max Brooks and Zombie Survival Guide in World War Z? It was like a mutated rabies virus or something like that.
right.
Hawaii would theoretically be about the safest place to be. Any extremely
No.
distant.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Like, seriously, like a plane,
No.
zombie outbreak occurs
Well,
on a
yeah,
plane.
but you can't.
That plane's crashing.
Oh, I know, but
Like, it's just
No.
the onset's too fast for any carriers to get there. I mean, in the long term, yeah, it'll be relatively dangerous, but in the short term, that's the best place to be.
no. Well, we thought about that too because we had our first show. One of our first shows, we had Barry, our head writer, on. Now he lives in the UK. We had come to the conclusion after about 3 shows that they would probably be one of the first countries to die off easily.
Yeah, the
One, because
UK,
they have
because
no
they're, like-
weapons.
And they're like 5 feet away from France. Like, seriously, fucking the guys from Top Gear, right? Turned a car into a boat and drove there. Like, motoring journalists, not engineers. Some fucking retarded British people, and I love them because they are hilarious.
You better, because Barry will be quite offended.
You know, it's one of my favorite shows of all time. Turned a Toyota pickup truck into a powerboat and boated to France. Like, that's why that's why England is screwed. But Hawaii, which is out smack in the middle of nowhere, fine. Just saying.
Let's see.
So, but we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Tom, you're sitting at home with your lovely wife. You're fiddling around with, I don't know, some kind of gaming stuff. John, you're at home. You're complaining as you're playing a game that it's too hot. And Rob has joined us. Welcome, Rob.
Hello.
I saw the message.
Now, Rob is sitting, and me and Rob have had this discussion before. And
Is he sitting at home curating his Beanie Baby collection?
Yes, he is. Now, all of a sudden, all the news stations, radios, everything, there comes a flash over the TV, whatever, saying, it is true. There is an outbreak of zombies, and they're popping up locations all over the place. Honestly, now you have to think honestly about this. And John, I'm going to let you go first. Given what you have in your home and the things that are going on, you got to think, what is the first thing that you do? This is a real thing, and the government has warned people to not panic, stay indoors. What are you going to do?
I would take the wooden baseball bat that I have and start hammering, like, get nails and start hammering them into them.
Oh.
Yes, that would be the very first thing that I would do.
That's not a very smart first thing.
Out of everything, you make a nailed bat.
Yes.
Of everything you can do, that's the first thing you do.
Well, I mean,
John,
honestly,
look at who's in your house. Think of your family, who's living there. This is
my
real
family-
life situation.
Honestly, I have a 97-year-old grandmother. Who
Okay, we're going to talk
probably
about
not gonna make it.
right. We're going to talk about this. No, Rob, we are going to get into family and
Oh man.
and health issues and stuff like that.
I'm accepting of this factory. I mean,
and that's fine.
it's going down. It's going down.
But this is a very serious conversation. I want to be very serious about it. Your first reaction is to really get a bat and make a weapon. You're sitting at home and they tell you. So now your grandmother comes to you and says, "John, you have to say what are we going to do?" Because now they're scared. Now you have panic family, And
Oh
so
no,
you have to
my
think.
grandma's she's senile. She has Alzheimer's and dementia. She's
Okay,
fine.
so she'll be okay with the zombies
Yeah,
then.
she'll think it's
Friends.
somebody.
All right, all right. So we're gonna give this to Tom real quick.
Oh
So
man.
Tom, what is honestly, you know, you're listening to this on the news and they're telling you, and they're having officials and doctors and genetics people and just everybody on. They're all talking about it. This is a true thing and it's really happening. What do you do to prepare? What is your first plan of action?
Fill my bathtub up with water. Seriously.
No, that's actually very smart.
Yeah, fill my bathtub up with water. Close all the blinds and windows. And then otherwise take stock of everything in the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Keep an eye on the news and
Okay.
play it by ear from there.
Okay.
But seriously, you need to, like, especially something like that, anticipate a breakdown of goods and services. So water is the most important thing you need. So get as much of that as you can and keep that tub full for as long as you have water to fill it with.
Absolutely. Okay. I agree with you on that. Rob, you're sitting at your house editing video and your father runs downstairs and said, "It is true. They're not fucking around." What do you do, Rob?
Well, I'd partially do what Tom said. You know, you
Right,
gotta see what supplies you have in the house. First things first is you need to survive.
Absolutely.
So you need water, you need food, no matter what it is now, healthy, unhealthy, just any type of food. Canned food obviously lasts a lot longer.
Take stock of what you have.
Exactly, you gotta take stock of what you have. And at that point, just to start, I would literally move everything upstairs.
All right.
And then from there, it's really, you have to survive. You make whatever calls you can while the service is still up.
Right.
You try to see who would want to gather, what's their plans, what are they doing, and you try to.
I'm gonna give you all real quick. Well, because Rob's gonna go into something, and I want to cut him off. No. I want to cut you off before you do. Okay. All of a sudden, because you said you start making phone calls. You start making phone calls, and people start calling you. Can I come to your house? Can I
Nope.
come to your house? Can I come to your house? You're getting call after call after call. There's safety in numbers is what they're going to tell you. Family is going to call you. See, Rob, I'm going to give you a very serious scenario here. Now you're what, a 5-minute car ride away from me. And, no, maybe this is, do you have any concern at all? And I'm not going to get pissed for me and your siblings.
Of course.
I'm just curious. Well, because I remember your response. I got to find the exact video that we talked about. I'm going to clip it. I'm going to play it next week. But so I'm just curious. Family. We had talked. Well, we're going to go more into family in just a little bit because I want to. Okay, so where everybody's taking kind of stock of what they have in the house. They're shutting up windows. They're filling up bathtubs, filling up empty containers right now in the house because we don't know how if water is going to be available down the road. So we're taking stock of what we got and battening down the hatches, so to say. So we're watching the news. TVs go out. Television goes out. There's no internet. There's no TV. There's no radio. It's dead air everywhere. And so, you're looking around and you're thinking, do you venture out to look for more food maybe?
It's going to have to be obviously.
Because right now there's hysteria because all those people that aren't thinking logically are panicking right now. So outside, buildings are going on fire. People are breaking down windows. They're stealing TVs, even though there's no electricity. Well, electricity, maybe we still have it.
No, that would be people nowadays. They
No,
take
I know.
shit that they really
I
didn't need.
We all know when riots happen, people take stuff that they don't need just to take it. But what I'm saying though is there's chaos in the streets right now.
It's not necessarily like when it first happens. Obviously, there's going to be panic. Buildings
Right.
obviously probably won't go on fire right away, but
know.
I wouldn't go out at that moment because there's going to be so many people out in just whatever food stores you guys have around you.
Right.
They're going to be packed. And when you are in a building,
I think people are going to start like fighting for shit on the shelves.
Of course, there'll be people fighting because they know that this is kind of it. And every man for himself. That's the first thought in some people's heads. Every man for himself. I gotta survive. I don't care about you. I don't know you. You can die. I don't give a shit. So that's.
And who's the person who's gonna have the spike baseball bat right from the very start? Yeah, fuck you people.
Yeah, but John's house isn't secure though, but he has a bat.
Hey.
So.
If I have to go to the store, I'd feel a lot more comfortable having a spiked baseball bat where I can say, "You want to fuck with me? Okay, that's fine."
I wouldn't go to a store.
Have a way to defend myself versus, "Oh, hi, can I have this? I have a family that needs to eat. Can I take it, please?" And they're just like, "No, fuck you."
Pretty much.
Because depending on the level of how deep in the shit are we whenever official channels announce it, yes, getting water and everything is going to be important, but it's not going to be something where, like, they announce it and immediately, like, all government services are down and stuff like that.
No, you don't know that. You don't know how big it is, because you know how our media is. Media downplays everything. They downplay everything. So I'm giving you the scenarios. This is kind of like,
So you're saying that it gets announced and everything immediately gets fucked right from there. So
No. What I'm saying though is that maybe they've known about it for a while. Maybe they haven't been telling us. So all of a sudden though, people are starting to notice, hey, there's dead people walking around. And so, but what I'm saying though is, you have to, this is something unbelievable that's happening. The thing that people thought would never happen is happening. So
what, like Ebola showing up in the United States?
Right. Exactly. In a sense. So
yeah, and notice how everybody's freaking the fuck out about that when they have significantly less to be afraid of with that than they do with, like, I don't know, like any other of a dozen different fucking viruses that are already in this country.
Yeah.
It's true. But did you know that Ebola is the gateway disease to zombies?
It's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is. In our world, it is.
Yes, but
can I tell you the minute it was like announced that like it was in the United States, Rob pops this link up to me on Facebook, and he goes, "Right before our show, Mom. This is perfect."
It was like our call to bring back Rebel Dead.
It was. So let's say everybody decides just to batten down the hatches, stay in the house, and so we're going to we're going to be 24 hours in, let's say, John, because John was like, everything goes to shit. We don't know how bad it is because we listen to the news. They don't tell us, everything. So all of a sudden, nightfall comes, and wherever you live, there are zombies. There are dead people walking your streets, and they're trying to get in your home. So now you realize that something's not right here, that, it's a little bit worse than maybe the news had stated, but it doesn't matter. So you realize this morning comes, you need to make a game plan. It's day 2. What's your game plan, John? You realize how bad it is, though. And your scenario is a little bit different than all of ours. You're on an island. So...
Yep.
So, you need to decide what's your game plan day 2. You realize there's a shit ton of zombies, and, your food supply is maybe 2 weeks if you stretch it out. So, what's your day 2 going to be like? He's getting another fucking bat.
Dual wielding.
Well, definitely getting a lot more stuff for self-defense. Past that, gathering more supplies, hoping that my neighbors are dead so that I can take their stuff.
Now see, that's what I always thought. that's the perfect opportunity that maybe your neighbors aren't as smart as you are in this, and maybe they're going to slowly be picked off so you can kind of raid their house. I know it sounds horrible, but
Fingers crossed.
But that's my thinking, because I thought, well, I look at my neighbors now. I know they're dead. Maybe the guy next to me over here, 'cause he does some strange dealings. He might make it a little while, but
My neighbor's dead. He's too nice. He'd be like welcoming the zombies into the house.
I don't know my neighbors.
maybe.
So therefore, you don't care.
Well, no, honestly.
No, but Dave too. Honestly, seriously, think about this.
If you're thinking about anyone outside of your immediate circle, you're doing it wrong.
Well, I live by old senile people, so
Then you're doing it wrong.
Oh no! See, I know that much, so I mean, if anything
Said
does
the guy
happen,
who lives in Florida.
Around old people.
Well, no, see, that's the great thing. I'm in Florida, so I'm already living in the zombie apocalypse, and I'm fine, so I'm good to go.
He has
No
practice
doubt.
every day.
That's it. Tom will be the
happened.
winner of the
I
zombie
can-
apocalypse.
I can take trips to my neighbor's house and raid what they have.
I'll just lull the zombies into a false sense of security with WORK, and
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Rob, there's a shit ton of zombies in your neighborhood, and you realize that the news has kind of not been telling you how bad it was before. Obviously,
well, hold on.
What?
Hold on. Before we go any further with this thought experiment, there is one big question that needs to be answered.
Yes,
Runners or walkers?
Ooh.
walkers.
Because
we have to be. Well, we thought about this.
honestly, because if it's runners, it's all bets are off. Every man for himself. Everyone is fucked.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I am going to you have to be wary of your neighbors because they could be crazy as well. It's true. My neighbors are all crazy, no, we're gonna because
Wait,
we
what?
talked
Who
about
did that?
this. We talked about this. It's one of my sons
Oh.
is on a device in their room. So
Okay.
yes, on the Reb Gaming, because for some odd reason they don't have a Twitch. But
I mean,
But,
it's really hard to sign up for one. Just saying.
Hey, you gotta do that email
you guys
confirmation.
can tease him all you want. I'm
Jeez, Rob, how do you not have your own Twitch?
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
I am disappointed.
I'll go put myself in the corner.
By the way, that intro video that we watched, Rob made that. He put that together.
Oh, you actually played that? That was a
yeah.
while ago.
2012.
Woo.
I know. Trust me.
I need to do an upgraded one.
I had to go all the way back through all of that video. There's a lot of old video, but
I made a video today.
I know. I got your email.
I retweeted it.
I saw, but not a million times. You got to get on that, man.
You are slacking, Robert.
Yeah,
All
where
right.
are your million Twitter accounts? Jeez.
I'll get on that.
I mean, I have a job, and I got this video made. What are you doing with your life?
Oh.
He is a bird, so
Shots fired, man.
I'm telling you about it.
You know what?
It's-
That kind of leads me to another question. Can animals turn?
No.
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 They could
What
just
makes
be-
them? What makes them not turn though?
Yeah.
Because at least we seem to be going, if the closest canon that we're going by is Max Brooks' Zombie Survival Guide and World War Z, which implies that it is a human-specific virus, and the zombies
Ebola.
themselves generally leave animals alone.
All right. That's good to know, because that would be really bummed if like one of my animals was outside and got turned into a zombie dog or cat.
Yeah, this isn't Resident Evil here. If it were Resident Evil, everything would be fucked. Zombie sharks.
I would probably just kill myself at that point.
Like, could you imagine, like zombie sharks are one thing, but could you imagine like fucking zombie orcas?
That's terrifying, actually.
I know, right? Or zombie dolphins. I mean, they're already
that is
rapey
terrifying.
jerks.
Oh
Wow.
man.
That's terrifying. Yeah.
It is.
Wow. Never thought of it. Wow.
So we're going to stick with walkers. We're not going to stick with runners. I think right now, I don't think our mind. We'll go on to runners later on, a few weeks into our show. But let's just stick with walkers because I think that's all we can handle right now. Because John is just overheated, and now there's sand, and now he's got to get dual wielding bats.
Sand. Oh fuck
that's gonna be
that's gonna last until I can make it out to like the Sports Authority where they sell like actual guns and stuff like that. Oh no,
Yeah.
they have a gun store out in like Townside. I would have to
You
try to
don't
make
think that by the time
that's just gonna be
you're
rated.
24 hours into this, you don't think that gun shop's gonna be
Hey,
raped?
that would have happened like the day of.
The minute they announced that gun shop's out of business already.
The guy who owns a place, do you think he's gonna share that stuff? No.
Really, if you're smart, he locked the fucking door.
Hey,
He has an arsenal.
there's
Like
a way to
the
make
guy
it happen.
in Dawn of the Dead.
Thom, the reference man, is here. So we are, we're a few hours into this, or we're 24 hours at least into this, and we realized that the news has been kind of, obviously it doesn't, heading up to this, there are things happening that are suspect, and then they had announced it. So, but they didn't announce that. Oh, the zombies have been spotted in a few places. Well, it was literally all over the world, and it was bad. And we're gonna take the same scenario that maybe everybody has the virus, but you have to die and then you turn. And so we're gonna go with those type of zombies. So
Okay.
we're a few days into this. Maybe we're a week into this, and we're still, and Rob's at his father's house, and so you have to put that in your head too, that you've got your father, and maybe you've got your aunt there still. And so there's and she's kind of gimpy because she's had surgery, and John's at home with his family. Who do you all have at home, John?
Hold on a sec. So you just said so everybody has the virus, but you have to die to turn. So is the virus itself lethal or no? Because if not, there was this wonderful movie called Fido.
Here we go.
Um,
I can't get away from it.
no, you can't get away from it. You guys are throwing you were in my fucking wheelhouse right now. I mean, you're debating the minutia of a theoretical event based in fantasy and sci-fi against a person who grew up with a person who was born to the golden age of science fiction, and then went on to write modern science fiction and passed all of that love to me.
I know. This is why you're here.
Yeah, but what I'm just saying is that if you're going with that instance, there's this movie called Fido, which I'm linking the IMDb to in chat right now, where they live in essentially that world, and they found a way to basically stop the zombie apocalypse.
Well, we're not that far into it yet. We have at least how many episodes is The Walking Dead? We have at least that many episodes to get through our life. Because we did it.
Way, it's the only way, for a zombie apocalypse to be, it's kind of like playing that game Plague Inc. or whatever on iOS or Steam. It's just to get a virus that will be that's virulent enough to get to everybody around the world, but at the same time isn't so obvious that it can get around the world without throwing up quarantines and then be deadly effective. Something like the zombie plague really wouldn't work.
Well,
just
say it does
straight
for
up.
our show's sake. Or Tom's gonna put us out of business tonight.
I
understand.
It's got to be a slow burn. It has to be I don't know if any of you guys have watched say The Strain on FX, which just ended last week. I personally like it. Whatever anybody else says, whatever. Your opinion, fuck off. But that's a relatively better example because while it's vampires as opposed to zombies, it's a bit of a slow burn. It takes using New York City as a microcosm, it takes the course of about 4 days of actually a pretty virulent strain of vampirism to get roughly 1/3, not even 1/3 of the population of the city fully infected. Because that's playing off of just, not having information available at the time because of, the villains of that show cut down internet traffic and cell phone service and stuff in the city, particularly to make a data dead zone. But like now with cell phones and all that stuff, like, I mean, seriously, look at like, one of the parts in the video that you rolled at the start of the show with the homeless guy in Florida who got high on bath salts and tried to eat another dude's face.
Right. That was great.
Something like that happens, and everyone in the country knows within 12 hours.
I know, isn't it wonderful?
It is wonderful, and it's because we have that level of information and we can react to situations that quickly.
We're giving ourselves scenarios, Tom.
We're
not.
But well, if we want to run
because otherwise
scenarios,
we won't have a Rebel Dead show if we don't.
You gotta give me some time to cook up a scenario and let me ask the hypotheticals, because I will fuck with your heads.
No, well, that's fine, because that's what kind of the show is about. I'm just kind of getting warmed up and, trying to put people in the mindset of, our government has just told us that there are for real, and they're not, just pretending. There's real dead people walking around live and they want to eat your face. And so after, being, brought up that zombies aren't a real thing and they don't exist, and then our government telling us, well, they kind of do. So that's kind of just the mindset that I want us to be in. Like, you have to survive. It's kind of like, we're gonna go through, if this was happening, if this was really happening, how we would survive, how we would exist. If you watch The Walking Dead, it's interesting to watch how they survive and exist. So that's kind of what I'm, we could go into all of that, but for us, like what type, like how you turn into a zombie, how you get it and stuff like that. But that's not really the way I want to go, because I want to see how everybody survives. Like what is your plan of action? What do you do? Because, a week in, you can't stay boarded up in your house. You're going to eventually run out of food. You're going to run out of everything.
As mean as it sounds, I would go and hunt down my family that I don't like.
Why?
And take their stuff. I am a very cold person to my family.
Because John is secretly a psychopath.
So
I mean, honestly, as mean as it sounds,
but honestly,
I don't know.
So John's not in my group of zombie killers.
Right, no.
But Rob, think about it. You'd have to get all the way out to Hawaii just to get a Hawaiian guy with a bat with nails in it.
I know. It's really worth it.
I would have more fun stuff by then.
I would have more fun.
Okay, so we'd have a hockey stick with nails in it.
Just to start off with.
You'd have a stick, a branch with nails in it.
You gotta figure, like, when it's
you have a surfboard with nails in it.
Anything you can, and from there you slowly build up. I mean, unless you
zombie.
You support the arcade and you have like a collection of guns, which unfortunately I don't.
You'd have a piece of paper with nails in it.
It's not like I have a storage of just filled with ammunition and like assault weapons. No.
No, but speaking of, though, if you are going to go with guns, you want to you want to grab something that is easy to maintain and uses readily available ammunition, which in the United States is 9mm and 45 ACP.
Right.
I would throw together something that I have very easy access to just and then from there, whoever I have to dispatch, be it live or dead people, I would go from there on slowly building up what I have to defend myself with. It's not honestly, like I'm going to keep like a wooden baseball bat the entire time.
Honestly, though, engaging is probably the dumbest thing you could do, especially in the case of walkers. Like maybe it's a necessity at points, but honestly, like if, assuming a transmission via bite and scratch, you don't want to be close to them at all.
You gotta do what you can to avoid them.
Yeah, I mean, the best bet would be to, like, I don't know, not fight them ever.
Right.
and constantly
Unless you
be moving.
absolutely have to.
Right, unless
Yeah.
like you're getting food and they come up behind you, and obviously, you would have to.
Well, you'd also want to be traveling in groups, never go off on your own,
Right.
like, because
See,
if you don't,
there's a good
So
there's a good thing Tom just said. You want to be traveling in groups. So although people
But-
early on were making phone calls saying, "Can I come with you guys? Can you help us?" And everybody said, all three of you guys were like, "No, no, no." But now all of a sudden you realize that there's strength in numbers at this situation. So
all right,
no, I didn't say no to everybody. I said I'm only taking my immediate circle.
right.
You
The
know,
way
and
I-
that's the people here that I could get to within 20 minutes, which for me is like one person.
But it's still more than one. It's two.
Yeah.
So okay, fair enough. Rob, what were you gonna say?
The way I would personally do it is, yes, obviously your immediate circle is priority,
Right.
but I'm also going to be open-minded about other people who have
Oh.
traits that some of my immediate circle don't have. Obviously, if they are healthy, and they're able to physically endure whatever's going on, I'm gonna want them in my group. Whatever, if they can bring something to the group that nobody else has, I'm gonna consider
All
it.
right. So you bring them to the group, and now that's another person eating food.
Very correct. But then it's another person that I could take with to go out to help me get more food.
Okay.
Go to say if somebody in my immediate circle that can't really do that or wouldn't really make it. So it kind of, I guess, levels itself out somewhat down the road. I mean, I wouldn't be going taking like everybody that just certain people. Like if they come
No,
across
I know Rob.
me,
Rob would be, his friends would be like, "Dude, come on." And Rob would be like, "All right, you can come in too." I know Rob. Rob would have a house
Well-
full of friends, and none of them would do shit. It's
He-
true.
You should just like turn off your phone.
wow, I gotta take the selfies still. Selfies with the zombies.
That would be pretty sweet. But
I mean, then put
But-
it on airplane mode. Ah.
But now another question is do you find a specific location to settle in and try to make your own little community,
well, see, that's the
Or do
thing.
you
A
come-
weekend, but a week
or
into
do you
this,
travel
Right,
to
well-
and then just a never-ending travel? Like, where do you travel to? Why?
Well, my
why
thing
are you
is,
traveling?
why do you, okay? So let's say we're 7 days into this. You realize that you can't stay in the house that you are because you're gonna need food. Tom's got his wife. John's got his grandma. Rob's there with his dad and his aunt, and I've got 3 kids here. So, all of a sudden, obviously food becomes a pretty big priority. Well, staying alive is your biggest priority. But the thing is, do you say, okay, we're going to stay here, so let's go out and get some food? Or do we go, maybe we need to get out of here and maybe go somewhere else? Do you stay there? Or do you, like Tom, do you guys decide maybe we need to try to get to back home? You know what I mean? Or do maybe we need to see if family's alive, or because you can't call anybody, you can't, there's no communications like that. So what's 7 days in, what's the next step? Like, because I don't think John can really go too far.
Nope, I can go around in a circle. That's about it.
You're on an island. But John, that's interesting for you though, because you said you're right by a cemetery. So
That puts him in a whole different scenario than us, though.
Exactly. He has less places to go to try to, his scenario, 7 days in might not be, well, I need to like migrate somewhere else to be safer. He might have no choice but to stay where he's at and try to build like a compound.
Or, gather enough weapons so that I can fuck up anybody who wants to come. I'm honestly just looking forward to having the
John's
free reign
going
to
to
attack people.
starve to death. with a whole bunch of weapons.
I have a feeling John has a lot of
will,
like held in anger
will,
that he just wants to release.
Oh, I do. I will not starve to death. If needed, I will go to my neighbor's house and I will take what I need. It's them or me, and it's gonna be them.
So you are the one that says it's pretty much every man for himself.
Yeah, this is why John's not in any of our groups.
Yeah.
Because John would have no problem, I think, with killing us just so he could have that last crumb of toast. What was that? One jar of Nutella left? Rob's gone.
Oh, really now?
I'm sitting there, John, but we can share. We can split it in half. No, Rob, this is just not how it's gonna work right now.
Next thing you know, you just see John eating the Nutella by himself. But that's those are the things. Like 7 days in, what? Like there's no. You don't. Let's say you're still conversing with. There's still neighbors that are alive that haven't been taken out by zombies. And now maybe people are coming to you at your house and they're going.
Accidents can happen to my neighbors.
But what I'm saying though is 7 days in though, people are maybe starting to realize that there's been a whole breakdown now of the government. No, you're getting no information from anybody except you're seeing dead people walking your streets. So people are going to start, let's say people start coming to you saying, "Hey, let's band together. Let's pull our resources and what do you guys, what do you say? Do you say, okay, that's a good idea. Let's pull all of our resources and kind of stick together, or?
No, because they honestly could be as much of a dick as I am. So, if I don't know them personally, I probably wouldn't trust them.
Even given the situation that things are becoming very, very bleak.
We've had people down here fight over cases of water.
Oh, I know.
Fuck that. If I don't personally know the person, I would not trust any of these bastards. Fuck that. I'm sorry.
All right.
I know it would be nice like
no. I mean that's your mindset in this, and that's for you that's perfectly fine. Like I said, you have a completely different scenario than us. We have the whole of United States to travel. We could even go into Canada.
You guys can go to Canada, Mexico.
Right, but I'm not going to Mexico. Zombies.
So I mean, if needed, you guys have places to go. Us, we're not gonna have planes flying down to Hawaii just to deliver food. No, they're not gonna.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, though. Your situation is a little bit different because maybe your food supplies.
Get weapons, kill living people, take their stuff. That's the game plan.
All right, so 7 days in,
you're Hawaiian game plan.
You're still bunkered down in your house. You're boarded up windows. You've nailed every object that you can swing as a weapon has nails in it, and so you're still not out looking for, or you're just gonna take food from your neighbors.
Hey, slowly start canvassing my way out.
All right. Thom, what about you? Like 7 days in with you and your wife, what are you thinking of doing? Like
7 days in, I've already been traveling for 7 days.
So day one, you grab your wife and you go.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
So you filled up. So why fill up the bathtub?
Really?
If you're gone.
Well, to see, when you fill up the bathtub, you get everything you do. You see how it's going to be within 24 hours. You know if it's going to be, something that's contained or if it's going to be a shit show.
Right, but we don't know. We've kind of lost communication with our government, with our media, with our television, any kind of news outlet. We've lost contact with.
Yeah, then you move. You get the fuck out.
Okay, so your plan is to just get your car packed up and go.
Yeah.
Go where? Where are you gonna go?
Ultimately, assuming that that the zombies are running on physical processes, I'm going somewhere that freezes very solidly in the winter.
See, that's what.
Because
that's smart.
Yeah, you go somewhere like Alaska, which gets a very hard freeze in the winter, particularly somewhere up like around Fairbanks. And during the winter, you build yourself a strong-ass compound. Then during the summer months, you take, especially with their long growing season, you grow as much food as you possibly can. And especially up in Alaska, you have things like moose, which will provide, hundreds of pounds of meat, that you can then
Have you ever
salt.
watched that show, Alaska Wilderness or something, where people
No.
live in Alaska and how much meat it takes them to get through the winter? No, but I know what you're saying. So your plan is to go from Florida to Alaska.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tom's going to start where Tom's adventure is going to start out traveling right from the get-go. So we're going to have to think of scenarios along the way for you to encounter. So Rob, you're 7 days in. John's building weapons to kill everybody. Tom's traveling, and
Can't
what are
get
you?
zombies since everybody's dead.
What are you doing, Rob? 7 days in. To
7 days in.
Zombie apocalypse. And then think seriously, like, what do you do? Because you've got your father there too. You know what I mean? So it's not just you. You have to think about. You've got to think about, your family there, your family here.
Oh, there's one other thing I'm doing.
What are you doing?
And that is turning to my nearest copy of Without Remorse. This is not a family plug, because that book gives a very nice, detailed, step-by-step process on how to make a silencer for your guns.
Interesting.
See, I would need a book like that. Thank you for letting me know.
He just ordered it on
He's
Amazon.
gonna go get that now. In fact.
Why haven't you read it?
There you go. Exactly. Why haven't
Well,
you
because
read it?
I didn't know that there was such an awesome book like that. This is the first I've ever heard about it.
Like, have you never heard of this guy called Thom Clancy?
I have.
Seriously.
He
was
And
kind
not
of
T-H-O-M. T-O-M.
I have
he
not
was
gotten to
published
read any
about
of
30
his
years
published
ago with a
books.
book called Hunt for Red October, and he's been praised for his realism and everything that he writes. And
Boy, here we go.
in fact, one of his books,
You walked
Some
this
of All
one, John.
Fears, a physicist told him that he wrote the best account of a thermonuclear reaction that he had ever read.
Wow.
A physicist.
That Thom Clancy.
Okay, so what's the name? If they have it on Google Play, I will buy it now. If not, I will
Buy it later.
eventually try to make it out to a bookstore, which
You should buy a hard copy because that
Definitely.
won't fail you in the zombie apocalypse.
You could actually put nails in it too and hit them in the head with
You
it.
could.
You could technically.
Yes, you could.
Oh.
So the book will actually become.
You guys are gonna
the
make me
weapon.
travel to like a bookstore now.
Yes, you are.
Oh,
Oh.
rough life.
And this
I
is
know.
why John isn't going to make it.
We should
Oh,
all
no.
make
No,
dibs
see,
right
I'll-
now. Who's making
I'll
it?
just-
Who's living?
I just have to make sure that I kill anybody and everybody I see.
I
That's
think
it.
John's gonna get very tired very fast.
Um,
I do.
yeah, no,
But-
honestly, I don't think I'll make
See,
it.
because
but-
as soon as
Really?
wars start getting
Really?
out, that
oh no, but I'm
Wow.
gonna fight.
Oh,
I'm gonna
people
fight
will avoid
really, really damn hard.
People-
You really don't think you would make it in
Have
a
faith in
zombie
yourself.
apocalypse?
No, probably not.
Not even for your wife. Like you gotta make it because she's your wife.
Oh, I guess I never told you that. She has a standing order with me that if
Oh man.
that if there is ever a zombie apocalypse, that she wants to become a zombie so she can eat people.
Okay.
Has it?
So this
Why-
this
why
road
does this
trip
sound like it's
this
familiar?
road trip on day one does not include her.
No,
You're
It
like,
does.
"Well, just
I'll hold on to
part
her
away."
until she gets bit. At which point I'm leaving her. But
Well, yeah.
She
Well,
made
see,
me-
that's
she
okay.
made me promise
Part
I
of her
would
becoming
leave
bit,
her
yeah.
and not kill her.
That's interesting. So Rob, you've got your father there. Food's getting slim. Apparently, you're inviting every friend into your house.
I never said that. I said I
know.
make calls.
I'm teasing, but you can't make calls. There's no.
Obviously, now 7
phone
days in,
service. Right.
everything's gonna be gone.
So 7 days in, what's your plan of action? What are you doing?
7 days in, I would have already have. I'm a guy that likes to plan.
Oh.
Before I do anything, I plan.
Oh my God,
If you don't have a
forever.
plan-
For fucking days. While the rest of us
Well,
are traveling the world to get away from them, he's
I'm
still
still
planning.
I'm still planning.
So you'd be locked away planning, and so when you step outside, like your plan
Actually, the
doesn't match
zombie
anything
apocalypse
else
will
that's
be
gonna
over.
happening.
It'll be over by the time he's done planning. He comes
That's
out.
my
No,
plan.
here's the question. Rob, you're a nerd. Why don't you already have a plan?
Oh, I already do. Trust me.
Well, then why are
So
you
what's
sitting
the
here
point of
talking
planning?
about planning?
Oh.
Well, the thing is,
But he would be planning.
I
He's saying
already
these 7 days he would be planning.
yes, and these 7 days I'd be planning because you have to think about you can't stay in the house that you're living in. Some of them you might be able to if your house is completely secluded somewhere where there's just where I am right now. There's no way in hell I'd stay in this house whatsoever. So within the 7 days, I would be collecting food, water, and everything else, and I'd be planning of where would be the best possible uh, building or compound that I could go to. That's relatively close that I can get to, obviously, a car, but after a while, you have to be able to walk because gas will eventually just be
I know where I'm going.
non-existent. And one of the places that I've already told people about this, but is
Cabalas.
I just realized.
wait, which you know of, the sewage plant that's over here.
Yeah.
It is completely fenced in with barbed wire.
Mm-hmm. It is.
It's a rather big compound.
It goes down. It goes down into the ground 7 stories.
Yes, and that would be my
underground.
first location to go to not necessarily stay,
but reevaluate maybe.
But yes, there's enough there's enough land there to farm. You're right by the water.
Yep.
So I mean, if you want to try, you can.
I would think
fish
it's
there.
gonna
You can
start,
farm.
you
can.
Well.
And
go ahead.
Now it would maybe last a year or two, and until
I don't think so because you got to think there's gonna be eventually no power. We don't know. I know that the generators kick on there, but how long do the generators run? You know what I mean?
I'm talking about not even power there whatsoever.
Right, it's gonna smell.
It's just well,
it's gonna smell.
It's obviously it's gonna be a process. That's what I said. Not necessarily to stay there, but that would be my first.
But maybe that would keep the
to
zombies away.
It could mask the smell of humans.
It might.
You don't know that.
Thought.
Obviously,
big ponds of poop might make it so that they can't smell humans. but I know the sewer plant down here, so that might work. Because the first 2 tanks when you drive into the sewer plant are the poop ones. Those are the gross ones, and it smells in the summer. So I'm just saying, you might have something there, Robert.
Well, there's another problem with this too, is that if Rob's had this idea, somebody else is going to have it. And while that's, risk of every plan, at least with like, say the case of my Alaska plan is that Alaska's really fucking big. So there's a lot of places for people to go.
There's also giant sewer plants there too. Just saying.
Yeah. But the problem with like a giant sewer plant is that a lot of people might go there. A lot of people might go there who might be jerks. So then you gotta contend with. Yeah, you'd essentially have to fight for that. And as Zenek says, everyone here has heard it. Right. So.
And thanks Muffin for following the channel. By the way, just like saying thank you. So okay, I gotta give you guys. I gotta throw something at you. Thom gets 2 flat tires.
Okay.
Okay, John. Let's see. John runs out of nails.
Well,
no. John runs out of food. John, you run out. You're like your last can. No, but I'm serious. Like you're going days and days in, and things are becoming scarce. And John, I don't hear anything about you. You're ripping off from your neighbors. But what if your neighbors though aren't like stupid enough to die? What if they have stayed alive? What are you gonna just go kill them for their food?
All I can say is accidents can happen at night.
Oh my
Well,
god.
I think John has actually the hardest situation of all, and
I-
that's that he lives on an island
Yeah,
Yeah.
with limited resources.
I
mean,
still say
he can,
accidents can happen at night
dude.
and zombies can break into houses.
Yeah, but John, you can plunder your neighbors' houses all you want, but they only have so much stuff.
Right. You're gonna
Like,
have
that's-
to think long
You will
term.
eventually have to move.
You're
Yeah,
gonna have
John,
to think
and
long
you're
travel.
term.
dressed so well,
that's
man.
the thing. Move where? I mean, I can
It-
survive for so
like-
long, but
He
Right.
can't exactly
it's
just
an island.
walk to
There's
another
only-
island.
So, but what I'm saying is though, so you need to think of a, your thought process. I would think would be like, okay, obviously there's not a whole lot of space for me to go to, so I need to find at least a space around here that, I can keep myself safe. Not, it's not just about killing zombies, like Thom said.
Oh no,
before.
I would go down
know,
fighting. I mean,
uh,
living in Hawaii, I'm fucked. So I'm gonna have fun, go
so
down fighting.
you don't want to even try
Well,
to
you're
live.
You're not necessarily fucked.
If I live,
You're
I
not.
live.
You've
If I
got
die, I
to think
die.
survival, though, John. That's your thought part. You have to think, how are you going to survive? John's fucking building bats with nails in them to kill everybody.
And honestly, there's nothing that can be done. I mean, it's
So
not
you've
like
basically
getting a boat
given up.
and-
The minute they said it on the radio,
You
you
have
said,
to.
"I'm done. I give up."
You have to remember though, you also have a large vegetation area in
You do.
Hawaii.
Yeah, but
Have-
they have
has
a
anybody
large
seen Lost?
vegetation.
Come on now.
No, yeah, just because there's green doesn't mean they can eat it.
No, very true. But there's already vegetation there, and you can also you could possibly live off of that for a little bit in order to get yourself.
I can't
You
see John
obviously you
as
have
a
to plant
vegetarian,
more.
though.
You have to start thinking of what you can do
Right.
to
John's not going to be able to travel, obviously, so he needs to secure his surrounding and find places that he's going to be able to grow some food. That's what I would think. Unless John doesn't want to and he just wants to die.
I still feel that would just be putting off the inevitable.
I don't think so. Well,
Well,
look,
John, just let me just say, I hope you really like pineapple.
but he can grill it too, He doesn't have
ooh.
to eat it just
Wait, and
Oh.
macadamia nuts,
Oh yeah.
because
Uh-huh.
that's like all
sugar
you grow.
cane. He could eat sugar
Yeah, but you
cane.
can't just eat
No,
straight
but
sugar cane.
He'd end up killing himself.
Yeah, no, like trust me,
Yeah, let's say
eating
Muffin-
straight sugar
Muffin
cane
would-
is
He
a
could
very
go
bad thing.
fishing.
On an island, but then the limited amount of people you have to step on to survive. So my thing is, how many people am I gonna have to kill to get what I need? And once that runs out, I mean, honestly, at that point
Then
in
John
time,
has a
screwed.
soccer ball and he draws a face on it, and
Wait, John, you live on Oahu, right?
Si, senor.
Yeah, 953,207 as of 2010.
A lot of people
That's how
killed.
many people you have to step on.
A ton of accidents can happen where zombies can just appear and swarm and kill people. Mistakes
now
happen.
his voice right there was like, he sounded like so like, oh man.
Hey. Mistakes happen. People forget to lock their doors. I mean, zombies break in.
I
mean,
think people are gonna are gonna batten down the hatches. I really do.
And that's not
I
to
have
say,
to say
that
this.
an unspecified individual can't go in there and tamper with whatever they set up.
I have to point
Because
this out.
honestly, if I want what they have, I will do that. If that's a way for me to make sure that they're dead and I can get in, and if I just kill a zombie, fine by me.
I have to point this out real quick, but Muffin Diversion wins chat for his doling out the truth joke.
Oh, that was good. Good one.
Is it bad that I would be willing to just sacrifice other people to zombies to get to
No,
take their...
I think if that's your mindset, but you're a little nuts, so that's okay.
Okay.
You know,
But then you
but
also
see-
have to remember though that every person that you sacrifice to zombies is one more zombie you have to deal with.
Oh, I would rather deal
No.
with a zombie who would only, not have the ability to hopefully use a weapon to have to dispatch than
Our
having
zombies are
somebody-
very similar to the zombies in
have-
The Walking Dead, so we're
may
just
have
gonna take it
guns.
from there.
Because people in Hawaii are crazy. If I can have zombies kill somebody instead of me having to do it, hey, I'm all for that.
All right.
I'm all for just getting zombies to kill everybody here.
Oh,
Yeah, but then again,
You
you
need to train
you
'em?
then have to
Yeah.
worry about the horde yourself.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, Thom, I'm proud of
Oh,
you.
See,
yeah,
so
wow.
that's when it comes to rotating houses. Just start off at one. Let an accident happen there, and then give it like a day or two so that the horde will eventually disperse, and then from there slowly make your way in. You don't have
But
to rush in
that's
right
the
away.
thing though, is that the horde they don't disperse. It travels as like a hive mentality.
Right.
Yeah, so it travels. So wait it out. You don't have to get in there right away.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that when you have like you have a horde of zombies, you live in or around the Honolulu area. That is several 100,000 people, several 100,000 potential zombies. Every single one that you sacrifice to those zombies adds to the horde. As the horde gets bigger, it's going to become more and more dangerous. So you can rotate around all you want. Eventually, there's going to be a horde of almost 1 million zombies.
Now everybody's going, who invited this Thom guy to the show?
Hey, that's the fun of it, man.
No, but
That's where it comes to rolling the
these
dice.
are the
If I
scenarios
die,
that I
die.
like, though, because Tom's thinking that, yeah, that's the potential for that many
He's
zombies.
also he's Tom. What are you talking about?
See,
You would survive.
Tom is still in the mindset that I'm actually concerned for my well-being. If I die, I die. So be it.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You don't care? There's nobody in your family that you give a shit about? That you want to help stay alive?
Okay, my family.
Yeah,
I
your
consider
immediate
my mom
family
and my
that
great
say that
grandmother.
they're
That's
depending
it.
on you. Do you have any
Everybody
nieces
else,
or any nephews?
Okay, let me put it. I do not give a damn
So-
about the rest of my
so
family.
if-
I would be the first person to try to kill them. I hate my family. I do not like them at all.
Wow.
So, John, I would
Like,
just
when
like
going
to
to family
say,
parties,
on the
if they
line
don't come to
right
me,
now is your
I
family.
don't acknowledge them.
No, okay, well that's fine. So what?
So,
So who
I'm
do you
okay
live
with
with
them.
right now? Who do you
My
live with
mom.
right now?
Right now.
So
That's it.
you hate your mother?
No.
Okay, so what I'm saying though is that the woman that gave birth to you is not good enough for you to protect.
if she dies, she dies. It's the way of how it is. It's a zombie apocalypse.
I can see John
shit's
like
gonna
hiding behind her.
Hiding, he'd push her.
I know. He'd trip her so that she
If
fell
I
and
was
run.
by zombies and I had a friend running with me, I would trip my friend.
Is that because you know that your friend is faster than you?
Well, I guess that's John's just ready to kill everybody for the sake of his own life, and that's fine because we're thinking zombie scenario. We're thinking
Yeah,
like we all said, his scenario living on an island is a little bit different than ours. John made a good point, or Thom made a good point, saying that what is he gonna do? Just the horde's gonna move in circles just like you are. So eventually,
Eventually, you have to man up and get out in the sand and into the water and go somewhere.
it's gonna get all hot and
I
sticky.
mean, I am looking right out my window. My neighbor has like a small boat. I could probably take that and try to get to another island.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what the most that thing would be good for.
Where there's a bigger horde.
Oh no,
Nah, he's on Oahu has the highest
Oahu's
population.
the highest
Alright.
populated island, so that just means that I would have to go to another island where there'd be slightly fewer zombies or slightly fewer living people to kill, and take their stuff.
Go to one of those uninhabited islands and go with like plants and stuff, and then you don't have to worry about your family, and you can grow your own like pineapples and macadamia nuts and
But I could kill
It's
a
true Hawaiian.
poi.
So John, let me get this straight though. So, a zombie apocalypse comes though. You don't want to live long term.
Unless there's a surefire way for somebody from the continental United States to get their happy ass over to Hawaii and rescue me, then no.
So they're okay. Well, no, we're gonna give John his scenario.
It's all on Rob
It's
because I ain't doing it.
If this shit goes down, it's up to you.
No, John,
let's
let's throw this out at John. Let's say a few days in or whatever. Let's say you guys still have, I don't know, somehow you're able a flight. There's still planes, whatever. There's still some type of chaotic structure going on. So you're going to get on that plane and they fly you to The only plane left that's flying, John's on. And it comes to Los Angeles.
Does he have to
then
fly
he's-
it?
No,
Or is
John.
somebody else flying?
No. Somebody else is flying it. But the
Comes
last.
to Los Angeles, he's double fucked.
He's. I'd stay in Hawaii.
Well, he said that if he was able to get off of the island, that he would, and then survival would be different. So we're gonna fly him to Los Angeles. Which,
All right, so get to LA, and then from there, that's a whole new game plan.
all right. So that said,
From there, actual survival becomes something that's a little bit more realistic. You know, there's growing crops,
Wrapping it
like
up.
what you guys said. I mean, even that alone would be so much easier to do than on an island when there's only so much places where you could go.
Hey, you gotta remember though. Now you're coming to a place that's even more populated, more populated.
There's also
right.
a lot more places where you could escape to.
Hey, real quick, is he flying into LAX or
yes.
one of the?
No, he's
okay.
going into LAX. I'm sending him right into the fucking.
Oh God.
Well, then first,
Satan's world.
that is the fucking stupidest pilot in the world. I just want to
No,
throw it out.
because
What if you only
let's
had
say
gas
he's
to
not
go?
really, he's not really a great pilot though. But what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna finish this up next Sunday, and we're gonna continue our story on how John wants to basically kill himself. On next week's show,
It's not that I want to kill
Rebel
myself. I'm
Dead
just saying if
Zombie
it happens, it
Apocalypse
happens.
show.
I'd be cool with it, you know?
So
That's all I'm saying. That's all
we'll
I'm
pick
saying.
it up. We'll pick up with Thom being a quarter of his way into his travel to Alaska with 2 flat tires. Rob will still be at home planning.
Rob, just plan to make your
John
way out to
is
LA. I'll
now, we're gonna let John
I'm in
fly
LA.
to LA. He's in.
Rob,
John
just
will
plan
be
on
in
making your way out
LAX,
to LAX.
and I will be ripping off the RV that's down the street from me. And on that note, we will see you next week. You guys can say goodbye now.
Bye-bye
Goodbye
now.
Bye bye.
Thank you for listening to WORK. This has been Tom the Bomb. I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next week for The Rebel Dead.
Oh my goodness.
I hope that aired.
I don't think it did, but I'm local recording too, so so I got it on that.